Hello and welcome back to the That York City Fan YouTube channel. Now, last time out on the channel, I was talking about what's going wrong so far this season at York, and since then, it hasn't got much better. So I went to 3-1 loss against Rochdale yesterday afternoon, and so I'm going to be talking through that match, and obviously now Mikey Morton has been sacked, so talking about possibilities for the future, so let's get into it. But before I do that, I'd just like to let you know I'm hoping to start a weekly series called This Week in Non-League, and that'll be like I say, a weekly series of my review. So player of the week, goal of the week, all the big matches, all of that good stuff. So that should be coming out tomorrow, I think. So yes, do subscribe so you don't miss that video. So I'd just like to talk about sort of what had happened before the match. So both Rochdale and York drew last weekend 2-2. Rochdale to Bromley, York to Dorking. Whereas York played on the Saturday, Rochdale actually played on the Friday beforehand. So I think this is a bit of a mess up of organisation of the league, because Rochdale, they were playing at home to Bromley, had an hour and 19-minute trip to York, obviously from Rochdale, and they played on the Friday, so they had an extra day of rest anyway. York had a 4.5-hour trip from Dorking back to York and 1 day less of recovery, so I just think that's sort of bad organisation. Our players, and you could tell from the lineup that a lot of our good players just weren't fit enough to start. 2-day turnaround, 2 matches in 3 days is just crazy. The best players can't do that, or any player can't do that. And also, Linnell John Lewis was given a red card late on against Dorking, so he was not in the squad for the game either. So I think it's fair to say for the first 15 minutes or so, Rochdale, for up until their goal, basically, they'd probably had the better chances. But I think one thing, the referee was Richard Aspinall, and he did not have a good game in my eyes. Obviously, because York lost, I'm going to say that, but I genuinely think there are a couple of things that he got wrong. And one was Mazkiyar, obviously York's winger, running down the pitch, made a really, really good run. And then he's taken out by the Rochdale defender. Now I've sort of slowed this down a bit myself to watch it, and he does get pushed over, I think, and it's not a penalty, obviously, because it's not in the box, but it is a free kick, and that's a very, very good chance, possibly, that could have gone York City's way. So around the 34th minute mark, Rochdale get a corner. It's crossed in, and Callum Howe, the York City defender, jumps up to get the ball, and the Rochdale captain feels a push in his back and goes down, and it's given as a penalty. Now, when I first saw this, I was thinking it was an absolute disgrace that it was given as a penalty. And after watching a replay, I'm not as harsh on the decision that the ref made, but I still, in my eyes, that's not a penalty. He's dived there. It's a very, very gentle touch in the back. And I had quite a good view of it from where I was sitting. But clearly the ref thought it was a penalty. So then in the 36th minute, Sinclair stepped up to take his penalty and absolutely smashed it into the top right corner. To be fair to him, it was an excellent penalty. Just annoying for me as a York City fan, really. After a little bit of time wasting from Rochdale, it was very late into the first half. 6 minutes of time were added on. York had not that many chances, neither did Rochdale. It was a bit quiet for the rest of the first half after the penalty. And then there was a free kick given to York, relatively far out, a foul on Mazkiyar. Akanyemi took it, and it was a brilliant shot. It was a very, very good save from the Rochdale keeper, to be fair to him. Then it was obviously a corner to York. It was crossed in by Maz, and who else to get on the head of it but Adam Crooks. Very, very tall man, and a great header in the 45th plus 10th minute. And so that was how we ended the first half 1-1. So in around the 53rd minute, I think it was, Rochdale play a nice ball through, and Adam Crooks takes out their man in the penalty area. Now, I have seen a replay of this, but it's a bit blocked by Tyler Cordner from the video. I'm not sure whether this is a penalty or not. And the sending off part, so according to the FA laws of the game, if Crooks was trying to get the ball, then it's a yellow. But if there was no attempt to play the ball, if he was pushing, pulling, shoving, whatever, he wasn't trying to get the ball, then they have to be sent off. So clearly, ref thinks that he's been pushing him over or whatever. So Sinclair steps up again, and I think Ryan Whitley did get a hand to it, but it still goes in. So that's 2-1 to Rochdale. Basically, the rest of the game, it was pretty even. They had a couple of chances, but so did we. Akanyemi came close quite a few times, even hitting the crossbar. I think it was maybe twice. But unfortunately, we couldn't convert. And then I think it was the 88th minute. It was a mistake from McLaughlin, knees it forward, and then I can't remember who it was. Who was it? It was Henderson who scored it, chipped it over Whitley. It's a decent finish, and that sort of pretty much ends the game for York, and a disappointing loss. So my overall review of the game, I think on another day it could have been a 0-0 or something. Like it was, in terms of actual play, they might have had a couple of better chances, but I think overall in actual chances and how well both teams played, it was relatively even. I definitely still think the first penalty shouldn't have been given. I think we could have had a penalty. I feel like there was one of those where if the first goal if their penalty is given as a penalty, then ours is too, but it wasn't. So, yeah, I'm not sure. They had a couple of dodgy challenges, lots and lots of yellows. Richard Aspinall did not have a good day at the office. I can say that with complete certainty. Right now, last night, York City made a statement to say that Mikey Morton had been relieved of his duties as manager, basically. And they said they've offered him a different role at the club, which I thought was handled very, very well by Matt Ugler, offering him a new role. Tony McMahon will take over for until we find a new manager, which you never know. I reckon we could have a new one by next Saturday. We've got a bit of a break till the next game. But yes, so they're still waiting a response on the other role at the club, but we'll have to see. So yes, a winless start from 6 games. We're 23rd now in the league, second to bottom to a team, Southend, who had a points deduction at the start of the season. So it's, as the title says, it's all going downhill very quickly. And hopefully a new manager will be able to sort out this problem that we've got, because we haven't got a bad squad. So hopefully we can improve. That will be all on the That York City Fan YouTube channel for today. Thanks for watching the video. Hope you enjoyed it, and see you in the next one. Don't forget to I've got the video coming out hopefully tomorrow, this week in non-league. So subscribe to see that video. See ya.